Red Sea from Saudi Arabia is the ancient land of Ethiopia. Capital city of Ethiopia is the sprawling city of Addis Ababa. Here in this city, on the eve of World War II, the Italian governor of fascist Italy caused the massacre of 30,000 Ethiopian patriots in a vain attempt to end their resistance to foreign conquest. But this ancient African empire, the oldest independent native state in Africa, was never to abandon her tradition of fierce independence. Today she stands free as before, and over a land from which her invaders have long since departed in final defeat, the flag of Ethiopia still proudly flies. As they prepare to celebrate their annual Armed Forces Day, the leaders and picturesquely uniformed warriors of this small nation can look back on a tradition of valor and independence which was old when Columbus set sail for the New World. In Ethiopia, as in most of this part of the world, old and new are in sharp contrast. As the emperor of the Ethiopians passes beneath the triumphal arch en route to Haile Selassie Stadium, his ornate ceremonial coach and the leopard skins of his honor guard are in vivid contrast to the mechanized equipment and planes of an increasingly modern Ethiopian armed force. Old and new, each in their several ways, the people of Addis Ababa greet the arrival of their monarch. The national colors are dipped in salute as the emperor takes his place in the reviewing stand. His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie, Emperor of Ethiopia. The slow march, a drill field exercise which looks much simpler than it is, requiring great precision and marching skill. Mules play an important part in the defense of a mountainous, forested country such as this. Here they pass in review, drawing modern light artillery, furnished under the Mutual Defense Assistance Program. Watching his troops and their modern equipment, the emperor might well reflect on how different might have been the outcome had these men been so equipped when the invaders came in October 1935. Never again will men with primitive spears attempt to defend their homeland against a modern mechanized army. To their courage and valor have now been added through the Mutual Security Program the arms of modern war. Today, if compelled, they might hope to mount an effective defense. The Minister of Defense looks on, while the Imperial Bodyguard demonstrates some crack cavalry exercises. Horse cavalry is rapidly vanishing from Western armies. Here in Africa, it still has its uses, develops highly skilled horsemen. Incorporated in this year's Armed Forces Day is the first annual Sports Day, giving Ethiopian athletes a chance to demonstrate their prowess before the royal family. Behind these demonstrations of Ethiopia's steadily growing military modernization lies the hard day-to-day work of such men as Sergeant First Class George T. Monahan of the U.S. Military Assistance Advisory Group. The Military Assistance Advisory Group in each country receiving military aid works out the program for items to be supplied to that country. Here, United States Sergeant Charles Scrivener joins an Ethiopian officer in checking engines of newly arrived American Jeeps. MAG representatives also assist in military training programs, helping provide the skills needed to handle modern weapons. An artillery class of the Ethiopian Field Artillery is assisted by a MAG soldier instructor. Artillery is perhaps the greatest departure from the traditional weapons of these native warriors. A rifle is, in a sense, only a more efficient bow and arrow. The artillery gunner, however, must learn techniques which enable him to fire on targets he never actually sees. The natural aptitudes of the born warrior are of little use here. The artilleryman must learn scientific skills without which the best weapon made will never strike its target. The bazooka, technically speaking, a 3.5 rocket launcher, is another modern weapon of war, which had yet to be invented when the troops of Imperial Ethiopia were last compelled to defend their homeland against invaders from beyond the sea. In the right hands, this simple device enables a two-man team to destroy armored vehicles, which were once thought to be impervious even to artillery fire. Assisted by an Ethiopian translator, United States Sergeant Chester F. Centeni explains the recoilless rifle. A somewhat different type of instruction is taking place in the American Community School of Addis Ababa. Children of Americans assigned to military assistance advisory groups lose nothing of the traditional American school program. Not even sandlot baseball. Ringing the school bell is Mrs. William Davis, whose husband directs the U.S. agricultural program in Ethiopia. Teachers in the American Community School are frequently wives of Americans assigned to the mission. Behind these gates is an institution which American kids have elected Ethiopia's #1 attraction, the Royal Lion Enclosure. Representing what is probably the largest collection of lions in captivity, the Royal Enclosure is a far cry from the local zoo. One thing you don't ordinarily get in the zoo at home is an opportunity to actually pet the lions. To the Ethiopian, the lion is a symbol of historic import, comparable to our own bald eagle, denoting strength and pride and greatness of heart. Their royal lion is a model to be followed as this once primitive people moves forward on the road to full membership in the community of modern nations.